In this section of the course, we're going to discuss threat actors. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of threat actors, their motivations, and how to better understand them, we need to know exactly what is a threat actor. Now, a threat actor is an individual or entity that's responsible for incidents that impact security and data protection. These actors, which can range from lone hackers to organized crime groups or even nation-state entities, will initiate attacks to steal, alter, or destroy your data. Understanding threat actors and their motivations is a crucial part of developing effective cybersecurity strategies. Now, a threat actor can be anything from the neighborhood kid who's trying to crack your Wi-Fi password to enjoy some free internet, all the way up to government-funded organizations that are seeking to cause chaos and disruption amongst their enemies. Now, in this section, we're going to be focused on Domain 1 and Domain 2, and specifically looking at Objectives 1.2, 2.1, and 2.2. Objective 1.2 states that you must be able to summarize fundamental security concepts. Objective 2.1 states that you must be able to compare and contrast common threat actors and motivations. And Objective 2.2 states that you must be able to explain common threat vectors and attack surfaces. So, as we kick off this section, we're going to be discussing different motivations of our different types of threat actors. Threat actor motivations are the reasons why threat actors do what they do, and these include things like data exfiltration, blackmail, espionage, service disruption, financial gain, philosophical or political beliefs, ethical reasons, revenge, disruption or chaos, and war. Then, we're going to cover the different attributes of threat actors. Threat actor attributes refer to the specific characteristics or properties that define and differentiate our various threat actors from one another. These include internal versus external threat actors, the differences in their resourcing and funding levels, and the level of sophistication and capability of these different threat actors. Next, we're going to go over all the different types of threat actors that you need to know for the exam, by spending an entire lesson on each one, including unskilled attackers, hacktivists, organized crime, nation-state actors, and insider threats. Unskilled attackers are individuals with limited technical experience who use readily available tools like downloaded scripts or exploits to carry out their attacks. Hacktivists are cyber attackers who carry out their activities that are driven by political, social, or environmental ideologies who often want to draw attention to a specific cause. Organized crime refers to well-structured groups that execute cyber attacks for financial gain, usually through methods like ransomware, identity theft, or credit card fraud. Nation-state actors are highly skilled attackers that are sponsored by governments to carry out cyber espionage, sabotage, or cyber warfare against other nation-states or specific targets in a variety of industries. Insider threats refer to security threats that originate from within the organization, and they're often going to occur because an employee is seeking revenge against the company, or you have an organization that simply has some careless staff members who might misuse their trusted access to their organization's systems and data. After we've covered all the different types of threat actors, we're going to move into the world of shadow IT, which refers to information technology systems, devices, software, applications, and services that are managed and utilized without explicit organizational approval and can pose a security risk to your organization. Next, we'll explore the different types of threat vectors and attack surfaces, including message-based, image-based, file-based, voice calls, removable devices, and the use of unsecured networks. Then, we'll discuss a really interesting topic on how we can begin to outsmart these threat actors through the use of deception and disruption technologies like honeypots, honeynets, honeyfiles, and honey tokens. Honeypots are decoy systems or servers designed to attract and deceive potential attackers, simulating real-world IT assets to study their techniques. Honeynets expand on this concept by creating an entire network of decoy systems to observe complex, multi-stage attacks. Honeyfiles are decoy files placed within systems to detect unauthorized access or data breaches. And honey tokens are going to be fake pieces of data like fabricated user credentials that are inserted into a database or system to alert administrators whenever they're accessed or used. Finally, we're going to take a short quiz to see what you learned during this section of the course and review each of those quiz questions fully to ensure you can explain why each answer was right. So, if you're ready, let's hop into our coverage of threat actors in this section of the course.